Sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the love and support. You all showing me here with I am grateful, and you are super sweet. So today we're talking something very important. I mean, it's a lot of people really have something to say about this. Some people also talk like they have lost their humanity and all of that. And it's about this young man who actually came out calling black women out about what happened in Houston, right? And the woman that got hit with brick and all of that. And a lot of people they have been dancing around all of this. But I think we all can do better as human beings. Enough of judging women, enough of the men judging women, women judging men, clapping back at each other and the rest of it. I mean, we can do better. I just do not like the way everything is going. I think it is very horrible for somebody to come out to defend some certain things. This is not something somebody should defend. I mean, coming out to hit somebody with brick, and some men think that is okay. Even if I were there, I wouldn't have helped out because it is not my fight and all that. Nobody's asking you to fight. You can de-escalate what was going on or what is going on to make sure that especially that woman did not get hurt and all that. But some think that it is not what they are supposed to be because women are being feminist. Women say that they don't need them anymore. So for that reason, there is no need defending them. And actually somebody said that she is a Somalian woman and she is not a black woman, and this happened in Somalia and everybody's blaming black men. I mean, this didn't happen in Houston. It got nothing to do with Somalia and all that. Even if she's Somalian, and I think we all as human beings have something to play out. This person must not be from my race, or this person must not be from my ethnicity for me to help him out or help her out. When we see what is wrong, we collectively condemn what is wrong. I am rolling this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. So let's get it.
It is really too early in the morning for this, but I have the time because somebody has to address these little boys trying out for Batman villains. Not even Dark Knight Batman villains, but Batman villains from the 1960s Adam West Batman. Watching you all bend yourselves up into pretzel shapes while performing mental gymnastics worthy of a Batman villain from the 1960s is stunning to watch. So we have this little boy masquerading as a man giving his take on why black women that he doesn't like deserve to be hit by bricks, while saying that he's not saying they deserve to be hit by bricks. But here is the thing. When did they move Houston outside of the United States? You wonder what I'm talking about? Let's get to it.
You guys got up faster than an Oklahoma drill to blame us for something that didn't even happen in America. All y'all heard her say was black men standing around her, and you immediately thought of us. It didn't even happen here. That's the part that I'm on. Then
I should just stop the video right here, especially after he said this in his video about facts.
But instead of acknowledging the facts, that's where you guys will twist it around to. It's never a productive conversation with y'all. Nothing is ever productive.
Nat Turner, give me strength. I should stop there. I should just leave it there with your own indictment of yourself by not knowing the facts in the situation. But I'm going to address this dichotomy that you posed in that video that goes to why I opened this video saying that you only protect the black women that you like or that like you. And I'm going to prove that to be a fallacy now also. Let's get to it.
This is a direct product of how y'all treat us, and I'm going to explain. You guys will invest so much of your time into expressing to the world how much you hate and dislike black men, and then expect us to turn right around and play Captain Save-A-Ho for you, because if we're not playing Captain Save-A-Ho for you, somehow we're not men. Why in the hell would I jump in the middle of a street fight for somebody that hates me? If we are just these useless ass bullet bags that y'all paint us out to be, gang, and y'all don't need us and we're useless and all this extraness, why are you then turning a whole new leaf when somehow you need somebody to rescue you from a situation that you put yourself in? Like, I want y'all to...
I just can't speed past the part where he sounds like every white supremacist and bigot after an unarmed black man is killed to bring up something they did in their past that somehow seems to justify why they're being killed at that moment while being unarmed, regardless of the fact that you know nothing about their past until after they're dead. I really understand why some people say that you little boys masquerading as black men are the white men of the black community. But that's not even the dichotomy I want to address. Let's go to your other stupid ass statement to go with that stupid ass statement that just shows you can't pick a struggle.
You will literally call a woman that does not agree with your hatred of men, black men specifically, a pick-me or a pick-misha or whatever the hell that is. Because somebody don't hate black men as much as you do, you dislike them. Like, do you understand how much you gotta hate somebody to even have that mindset? You hate us to the point where you don't even want other women to like us, bro. And you expect us to put on our shiesty and come in guns blazing in a situation that don't got nothing to do with us to save you.
First, as somebody who has actually worn a shiesty in their life, you're not putting on a shiesty for anything. Let's just disband that delusion right there. Do you all even listen to yourselves talk? Because you acknowledge that not all black women, but somehow you have the mental abilities to determine if that black woman that needs assistance at that moment somehow has said or hasn't said these things in the past. Yeah, no, you don't. You're just not going to protect black women. I wish you would stop making these long-ass videos about the justification you have for not protecting some women that are only about you not protecting any women or any women that don't like you or are in your possession at the time. Because also, those women should look at you and notice this is a red flag. Because the moment they do something you don't like, your protection of them is null and void. Now, this is for all the little boys masquerading as little men. May the ancestors judge you harshly. And the rest of you all, y'all have the day you deserve. Peace.
Wait a minute, because I just stumbled upon something. I just had a thought. Y'all know how, like, women be like, hey, you love your homeboys and you in love with your homeboys and all this, that, and the third. How did we let y'all slide with this? This is one of the moments where I come up with a comeback or like a clap back after the argument's over. Because if you think about it, what girlfriend group has the right to insinuate that you gay? Because if you know anything about girlfriend groups, nobody in that friend group has the right to call anybody gay if you've ever seen them in a club together. They all twerking on each other. They doing that little thumb thing while they twerking on each other, putting their thumb in, you know what I'm saying? They be getting drunk, sloppy drunk, kissing each other, tongue kissing each other on some real nastiness. But I'm in love with my homeboys because I play 2K. Why has nobody put this together until just now? Bro, y'all be some of the gay, like, no, what? I'm telling y'all, I have seen girls who swear up and down they are strictly dickly do some of the fruitiest things just because they were either intoxicated or because they were around their friends. Y'all go outside and be like humping and grinding on each other in the middle of the street. Like, bro, we don't do any of these things. I just don't see how you can swear up and down that your man's is in love with his homeboys, but you doing all of this with your friend group. Y'all be having like mini orgies in the back of the club. What girlfriend group has the right to insinuate that you gay?
None of them. Not a single one. And let me tell you why. I've been on this planet long enough to listen to enough women tell me about some of their early experience when it came to romance and intimacy. And a lot of those women have told me that the first person they ever kissed wasn't even a boy. It was definitely a girl. Women have way more leeway to be experimental or bi-curious with each other than men ever have or will. But it's always specific to the female friend groups. Who do women go to when they having guy trouble? They homegirls. Who do women go out with when they trying to get over a breakup? They homegirls. Who do women get sloppy drunk and end up twerking and kissing on each other at the club with? They homegirls. And I'm pretty sure it rarely ever stops at them getting lit off some liquor and hugging and kissing on each other in the club. Now, what you do behind closed doors is completely your business, and that's entirely acceptable. But ladies, one thing y'all gotta stop doing is bringing a man's sexuality into question just because he like playing 2K with his homies. Straight men do not go out, get drunk, and start twerking on each other. At least none of the straight men that I know. Straight men don't learn how to kiss in middle school by kissing on each other. Straight men absolutely do not use you hanging out with your homegirls as some sort of insult to insinuate that your sexual orientation is not what you say it is. There are just certain levels and depths that a male friendship dynamic is not going to reach that you guys have us completely beat at. And y'all can keep all of that. So can we please, for the love of all things sacred, please stop talking about men's sexual orientation as if it's an insult just because we have a genuine bond with our homies.
And all this, that, and the third. How did we let y'all slide with this? This is one.
I advise you before you watch this, go back and watch the original video. You ain't even gotta watch the whole thing. The point's gonna be clear by the halfway mark. But long story short, y'all remember that short period of time when women were trying to call straight men gay for anything? Talking about if you hang out with your friends, you gay. Or if you have multiple women, you're gay. And I'm like, how the fuck did we even get here? Then we hear the bullshit reasoning to back up their statements. Talking about you only use women for your physical pleasure, but you're emotionally attracted to men because they understand you. Yo, I kid you not, I laughed my ass off. But then I realized that the perpetuators of this false narrative were often projecting. Cause we know how a lot of these female friend groups get when they turned up. Girls night out, y'all start out as friends, but by the end of the night, y'all bi-curious. And look, do what you do, have fun. But understand this, as men, our friendship dynamics are not as complicated. Not to say that there's not men that's on the DL, but typically speaking, for most men, when I'm out with the bros and we getting sauced or whatever, I ain't gotta worry about the homie getting loose around me. Like, that's just not a thing. I mean, the most that'll happen is the infamous speech. You know, it goes a little something like, yo, bro, you that my mans, bro. Like, I'll really slapping a few right now, bro. As a matter of fact, anybody that looks my mans the wrong way, I'm popping a bottle. And most of the times, that's followed up by something like this. Yo, it's too much mandem in the spot. Where the O's at? And most of the times after that, a dude's going home to some pussy. Cause I hate to break it to you, we like women. And on top of that shit, we may like multiple women. I personally find fallopian tubes fascinating. But of course you have those girls that are going to find any reason to call a straight man gay. But remember ladies, if you're saying gay to a straight man as a way to insult him, you got to take that pride flag out of your bio.
What girlfriend group has the right to insinuate that you gay?
This why I stopped listening to any like, even when my girlfriend, or not my girlfriend, my brother's girlfriend tries to make that joke, I'm like, aren't you bisexual? Ma'am, you're literally gay. Stop talking. Like, and it's nothing personal, but anytime any woman says, oh, you must be gay because I like hanging out with my family. Ma'am, I've seen you kiss all 12 of your friends. Not only are you gay, you're a gay hoe. Stop talking.
It's never a productive conversation with you.
So you make the claim in this video that it's never a productive conversation and that people don't listen to facts and yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to have this intellectual conversation that you want to have, and I'm going to talk about the points that you made in your video.
Y'all made this bed. This is a direct product of how y'all treat us, and I'm going to explain. You guys will invest so much of your time into expressing to the world how much you hate and dislike black men, and then expect us to turn right around and play Captain Save-A-Ho for you.
So first of all, that's not true. We did not, as women, create a world where men A, don't protect women, and B, perpetuate disproportionate amounts of violence to women. Nor did women up and just start saying that, oh, men aren't protectors. Oh, men are violent to women. For no reason. This was in response to historical and contemporary oppression of women perpetuated by men. And this is not specific to the United States. This is a global crisis. Women did not create this bed. We just responded to the years of historical and contemporary violence. And because this is an issue that continues to plague our communities, we are asking that you stop doing it. Specifically, Black women are asking that because Black women are already not protected by the patriarchy, by feminism, And so, bare minimum, we'd like black men to try and protect us from those things. And that's because while black men understand racism and how we as black people are not protected from that, they seem to lack understanding when it comes to patriarchy and how they are either A, complicit to patriarchy, or B, active participants in patriarchy. And so when black women are saying that they dislike black men, it's because they dislike how black men respond whenever patriarchy is objectively harming black women. That's the argument that's being made.
I do not talk crazy about the U.S. military. Do you want to know why? Because if some other country decided to come over here and take my shit, the only thing standing between me and them is the U.S. military.
So you try and fail to make this point a couple of different times, and then you give us this like analogy or hypothetical or whatever you want to call it, right? And so in this, are you saying that you shouldn't critique or talk shit about a group or an institution because they may have to protect you at a later date? But this argument doesn't really make any sense to me at all. And I'd ask, like, how do you feel about people who critique police brutality? How do you feel about people who say ACAB, which stands for all cops are bastardized, which means that they work for like an oppressive system? Do you think that we should just sit by and allow like police brutality to continue to happen because we might need the police to protect us one day? You're starting to sound a lot like white folks who use that exact same rhetoric against black and brown people who are actively protesting the police and its oppressive regime.
To literally call a woman that does not agree with your hatred of men, black men specifically, a pick-me or a pick-nisha or whatever the hell that is. Because somebody don't hate black men as much as you do, you dislike.
So I already talked about how you just misunderstood the argument, but I'm just going to rehash that really, really quickly. Whenever people critique men, specifically the system of like patriarchy, we're not saying that we necessarily hate men. And when black women critique black men, they're saying, again, that they hate the way that they respond to patriarchy because it leads to black women not being protected. And when we call someone a pick-me, it just means that they have internalized misogyny. The rest of your video is pretty much the same regurgitated point, so I don't want to make this any longer than it has to be. But you haven't really said anything new or brought anything new to the table, nor have you really had an intellectual conversation to begin with. And that's genuinely no disrespect to you. I hear these regurgitated lukewarm takes literally all the time, and I think that they objectively lack the nuance that they need.
You're missing it. A man hit a woman with a brick. Other men...
Okay, we've been doing this for 3 years, almost since COVID, bro. It's the same, it's like copy and paste. It's the same template every single time, right? Why is it that when anything happens or anything goes down or something bad happens, right? The first thing that we do is look at who did it, and whatever group of people or demographic that they are a part of are now responsible for whatever it is that they did. A girl in high school hurt you when you was 14, now all girls is hoes. Some crazy dudes you used to mess with slashed your tires and now every dude is crazy. I want y'all to, for the first time on this app, actually be honest about the dynamic that actually goes on. It's like this. Something bad happens. There's an uproar about it on social media, whether right or wrong, there's an uproar about it on social media. And then the very next step that happens after that is the entire demographic of people that the perpetrator belongs to is now just as guilty as the perpetrator. If a black man in my neighborhood robs a bank, right, are they gonna knock on my door and arrest me because I saw him drive down the street? So then when people come out and say that, hey, whoa, I'm not a part of that. I'm actually trying to help, but I'm not a part of that. It's then, why are you deflecting? Why are you not taking accountability? Because taking accountability for what, y'all? Let's stay in the realm of reality and not our imagination. I'm telling y'all, if we fix this one thing, half of the stupid shit that we argue about now on this app, we wouldn't. You can have your opinions. You can pick a side, which I generally don't. You can have whatever, right? But the minute that you turn the narrative into just because this person did that, then an entire group or demographic of people are now just as bad, you are the problem. Especially if you're a content creator. Like, you're now creating an environment that is okay with manifesting hate towards a specific group of people because of how you decided to put your words together. Again, some girl got hit with a brick because she did not want to give a man his number. That is terrible. That should never happen, and nobody should ever have to deal with that. The hell? But the very idea that somehow me sitting in my home, not my home, I'm not in my home right now, but somehow me sitting at the crib, right, that somehow makes me responsible for whatever happened in Kentucky. That's stupid. Why is there no such thing as types of black men or types of black women or types of this and types of that? Like, why does everybody have to fit in this one box so we can push a narrative? If anything, be more divisive than we're already being from jump. This is how this situation needs to be handled. Whoever the perpetrator is needs to catch some repercussions. There's nothing to debate about it. There's nothing to go back and forth about it. Whoever did that needs to face whatever they need to be facing. Now, to all the bystanders that just sat around, I can't say you legally did anything wrong, but morally you're kind of messed up. Cause it's like 7 to 10 of y'all, gang. Like, there's nothing he could have did to her if y'all would have just stopped it. Unless she did something to him that the internet is just hiding from my nose, which I don't think she did. But I'm just saying, one, generalizing the entirety of everybody is not the solution to anything, and we need to stop doing it. Holding people accountable on an accurate scale is something we do need to start doing. And acting more together to solve problems is another thing we need to start doing, that for whatever reason as a community, we are just inept of doing.
If you don't find us attractive, if you don't find us polite enough, kind enough, quiet enough, that our lives are not worth protecting, is that what you're telling me?
From one place to another. I mean, he made several videos and all that. So I decided to pick these ones. And I didn't know how, we're just dancing around, because I just do not understand all this dancing around and all that. The men are blaming the women are blaming, this blame game thing is something we really need to stop doing. But then I won't stop saying this. The people that watched that woman also get hit with braids and all, with break and all that. I mean, you all can do better, because if somebody has, I understood, I know, gun violence and the rest of it, some people were like, man, how do we, I don't know if the person has pew or maybe he has something dangerous with him, if I step in and all that, I might get shot and the rest of it. I mean, there are so many other ways to actually de-escalate something. I mean, you must not get physical and the rest of it. Probably by talking to both parties and making them calming them down and all that. I mean, it's just a whole lot of emotions going up and down. The men are trying to are being defensive. The women are calling them out and all that. But we never stop saying that whoever that did this, they need to apprehend this person. Let him face what he did, because this is very disgusting and nobody deserves to go through this and all that. A lot of people are screaming, she's not a black woman, she's from Somali, and she lives in Houston. I don't know if she's Somali, but this doesn't, it hasn't got nothing to do with race. You all don't have to watch other men beat up a woman, and you say because she's not a black woman, can't you see, or maybe she's not African American woman and all that. She must not be from your this thing and all that. I mean, humanity got something. You have to do what you are supposed to do as human, because nobody deserves to be hit with a brick and the rest of it. I mean, we all can do better. I guess this is the best thing to do. And they also went to where when a homie is hanging out with his homie, I mean, there are so many things coming out just from this. I mean, women call them the other word and all that. I just don't want to get into that, but can we just come together? Can we come together already and fight what it's fighting up? Because we are not going to win if we continue like this. So this is where I'm going to drop the call and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.